Every decision you're asked to make in the Mormon church before the age of 18, and even sometimes afterwards, is not a choice. It's an expectation that you will say yes, because it is framed that things that are asked of you, certain callings, doing talks, going on a mission, all of these are things that God is asking you to do. And when you are taught that saying no to a bishop or to a calling or to a mission is equal to saying no to God, it really reshapes how you respond to authority going forward, how you relate to your own body. You learn that your worth is tied to being agreeable and available. That is why it leads into people pleasing in the Mormon church. You can't say no. It leads to self-abandonment, but it's framed as serving others. It's not. You can serve others in a way that doesn't self-abandon, but the church does not teach it that way. My mom had 8 kids, and I can't tell you, like, I never saw her because she was always doing service for other people in the church because they would always ask her because she never said no, and she's still that way. I go and visit her. I don't see her the entire time. I made a little skit about that one because that's the kind of manipulation the church does, is like it gets you to give up your time, and they don't pay you for doing any of these services. You are just expected to do it for free, and that goes towards your worthiness and servitude towards God. And my mom is always exhausted, and that exhaustion is always framed as a sign that you're doing something right. So in the Mormon church, it's so common to, instead of ask, do I have the capacity mentally and physically to do this service for someone else, or do this talk, or take this calling, you start to ask, what will people think if I don't? And that also takes over your brain of caring what other people think versus listening to your inner authority. You are taught that self-sacrifice is love. So you have trouble setting boundaries in your relationships and at work and as a mother. The craziest part is we never realized we actually weren't being given choices. We were never actually choosing yes or no. We were simply complying under the belief that God is keeping score. All this does is keep you disconnected from your inner authority. And that's the goal. That's very much the goal of it, 100%. Because if we were all connected to our inner authority, we would be a lot harder to control. And therefore, the church would not exist. The church would not exist without women. The women keep it together, let's be clear. That's why relearning how to say no and set boundaries and listen to your inner authority and how you actually feel is so important when leaving the church. And even if you're staying in the church, that's fine. But let's not